Hey geeks, this is Minx from AverageGEEK, and I'm here to bring you a kind of a restart to a former segment that we wanted to do, but kind of fell to the wayside as we reshuffled AverageGEEK and tried to get a little more organized with what we wanted to present to you, which is tech reviews. We're going to be reviewing hardware, components, peripherals, software that's useful, computer and mobile apps, stuff like that. Just to let you know, my brother Loki has been testing Microsoft 10, like quite a few people I know, and he's going to be giving a more in-depth review of that. But today I'm going to kind of bring you a, let's call it a mini review of a part of Microsoft 10, which is their new browser, Microsoft Edge. Back in the day, when I was a kid, and it was like the late 90s, Internet Explorer, which is the original Microsoft browser, was kind of the king of the heap. It didn't have a whole lot of competition at the time. I mean, it was like Netscape and I think like one other. It was the one that you used. It was like the cool browser. Gradually, over time, though, it was found to be easily exploitable for nefarious purposes. It was like a virus magnet, so viruses and malware inundated it, and then it started getting stronger competition with the introduction of Mozilla Firefox, which I'll admit, avid Firefox user. Once it came out and it became apparent that its security was stronger than Internet Explorer. Not foolproof, but stronger. And people started distancing themselves slowly from Internet Explorer. Then myself, like a lot of people, got forcibly dragged into the Chrome age. We're going to call this the Chrome age of the browser wars, just because that sounds cool. And Chrome was kind of revolutionary, the way it had things set up. It was faster, not as exploitable for viruses and malware. And about this time, Internet Explorer really began to show its age. Sure, they released updates and new versions of it every so often. It came with your Microsoft operating system, like by default, but it wasn't enough to save it. It still had a huge bad taste in people's mouths, and so Microsoft vowed to step away from that, to completely toss it away and bring us something fresh, a fresh browser that, you know, brought out the good points of Internet Explorer. Well, I had the opportunity to test it over the course of several weekends, and I tried to put it through its paces. Like the original Internet Explorer, Edge is easy to use. It's a typical, you know, browser. Its default search engine is actually Bing, which, as a Chrome user, I'm used to Google. I don't necessarily care for Bing that much, but I'll leave that for another time. To be honest, I found the response time to be exceptionally laggy, just like its predecessor. The interactiveness, I mean, looks-wise, it was a combination of the Windows 8 tile model, you know, where you had the different squares and tiles. It's a combination of that, and I would say Chrome. I would actually go as far to say it looks like it resembles what I would call discount Chrome. Okay, it's like it's almost there, but not quite. You know, it's like off-brand Chrome, like something you'd pick up at the dollar store. You know, but you couldn't, you know, put actual licensed characters on it. It has similar functionality in that respect to Chrome. On Google Chrome, if you use it heavily, your default page is going to have 8 thumbnails on it of your most visited websites. Edge has a similar feature. Instead of 8, I think it's like 6. I think it's 6. And it's just in a straight line. So I'd have, like, for me, for instance, it would be like Yahoo, Fantasy Sports, Wells Fargo, Facebook, things like that. YouTube for the channel. So that was okay. I felt that it was really unoriginal. I mean, Chrome has already done it. I think Firefox did it right before I left. It's something that's been done. I mean, it's a great functionality tool. You know, it's really helpful for people who are on the internet a lot, especially if there's, you know, specific sites that you're visiting constantly. But the layout is really unoriginal. I think they could have done something a little more, you know, exciting. You know, I feel like they kind of failed on that. The speeds are, I think I said this already, but the speeds are laggy, like I was having flashbacks of Internet Explorer speed. I actually did a test, and keeping in mind this is on a 60 meg per second cable hardwire, and I tried several different things. I tried loading Facebook, which is probably one of the most commonly visited websites. I tried loading it on Edge, and then I did it on Chrome. Chrome was twice, if not 3 times as fast. Edge was just that slow. I also attempted to do a search for just something random. I did like a random just text search, and then I did a search for images. Again, you know, Edge was easily 2 to 3 times behind in speed of both of these. And I blame that, and the searching I blame partially on Bing, because I've actually found Bing to be quite slow compared to Google. But that's not the entire problem. I think it's, you know, probably the interface. Another thing that I found that was considerably also kind of borrowing from the Chrome interaction is when you go to the default page, you have like the little search bar, but instead of there being like the address bar at the top, it's you just type whatever you want in the search bar, what I consider a search bar, and then it, you know, automatically takes you wherever you gotta go. It didn't strike me as smooth as it could have been. It wasn't, yeah, it wasn't as smooth. It didn't look original. Like I said, there's a lot of things that were potentially good for functionality for Edge that did not. It's like it was good in theory, but didn't come out good in practice, kind of a thing. And I was very underwhelmed. And it made me very disappointed. I had hoped that Microsoft would be able to jump forward in the browser wars, and at least be competitive with Firefox and Chrome. I hope that before they officially release Microsoft 10, that they go back to the drawing board a little bit with Edge, because to be honest, Edge feels like Internet Explorer with a facelift. It doesn't feel like they've gone to a different browser at all. It feels like the same thing with a new logo, and with a Microsoft 8 flair to it. It doesn't feel that new. And like I said, it looks like a discount Google Chrome. So, all in all, I mean, it does have some functionality as far as the most frequently visited site tiles. You know, it has functionality there, but the lag that I experienced was horrendous, and just reminded me so much of the old browser. I honestly feel like they're not really fooling anyone. I mean, it is literally a discount Chrome. Well, I think what it is they tried to make Internet Explorer look like Chrome, and they didn't quite fully accomplish that. So I think that's where that rests. I will give it points for that somewhat copied functionality, because I mean, at least it's a slight improvement. So I'll give it, a C for that. But for everything else, the extensive lag, the unoriginal layout, the the look, the fact that the logo is almost identical, just slightly different, like a modernized logo, I have to give it an overall score of a D. If you have tried out Edge and you actually enjoyed your experience, or found some more interesting things that you did, please comment below. I would love to hear about your experiences with it. If you agree with me and the Edge missed the mark and feels like the old stuff, also comment below, because I'd like to compare our experiences. Pretty much, if you've experienced Edge, let me know what you thought of it. And also, if you guys have any ideas of things you would like me, or Loki, or Dave or Justin, the other members of AverageGEEK, to test out and do a review for you, please let us know below, and we will do our best to try and get that for you. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, share, and subscribe. Later, geeks.